What is said in this video stays between us.
Welcome back to the Real Talk podcast. I'm your host, Nik, Patton, and let's get into the chaos.
Hey, bestie boo. Welcome back to the pod. If you're new here, welcome to Real Talk. Today is a different episode. We have no script. I have no outline. I have nothing. It's just me and Totoro because I've been battling something this week that I just wanted to get on here and talk about. And I feel like that is the whole point of this podcast, is if I were to sit down with my younger self and tell her things. Like, this is literally that safe space. And when I'm going through something, I find that a lot of you guys are also going through it. So today I just thought I would talk about what's on my mind, and hopefully you guys also are, well, hopefully you're not going through something similar, but hopefully this can help someone out there. So, okay, this week I have been struggling a lot. And I think that anxiety is something that has come and gone throughout my life. And sometimes, like some eras of my life, I feel like I finally escaped it. And I feel like kind of just invincible and just in a good state of life. And I think when you're in those eras and then you come out of one of those eras and you're kind of like dealing with things again, it can be really hard. And I know that so many of you guys struggle with anxiety and insecurities and motivation and just staying motivated and feeling confident and feeling your best self. And for me to come on the internet and be like, this is exactly how to be your best self, and not show you guys the low points of my life as well, would be, first of all, lying. Second of all, unrealistic. Third of all, I would just be deceiving you guys. Like, it wouldn't be real. And so I think a huge part of being your best self and being confident and being happy and everything and positive is knowing that there are going to be days where you feel down, knowing that there are going to be days where you feel drained, and learning how to deal with that is just as important as me giving you confidence tips and me telling you how to love yourself. And that's like why I wanted to do this episode. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm like a little bit sad this week. Oh my gosh, why am I like tearing up? Okay, ew. I haven't felt, I haven't dealt with anxiety in a while. And I feel like I was in a really good era for a while, and I've just been going through it mentally a little bit, and I'll explain why, but hopefully this episode can help if you're going through similar emotions, and that's what this page is for. That's why I made this podcast, to be raw and real and not like some studio where everything's scripted. Like, I literally made this podcast so that I could sit in my bedroom and talk to you guys, whether I'm feeling like on top of the world or like having the worst week of my life. Not that I'm having the worst week of my life. Life is great. But that's one thing I want to talk about. Just because you can acknowledge that your life is great and you have things to be grateful for does not mean that your mental struggles are invalid. You are allowed to not feel okay? And you don't have to feel guilty about it. And I think that's something that I used to struggle with, is I would feel so bad for feeling anxious or a little depresso espresso when I know that my life is good. Like, I know there are things to be grateful for, and that's something we don't talk about enough. Just because you can acknowledge that your life is great and you have so many blessings, it doesn't mean that you can't be struggling. And it doesn't mean that your feelings are invalid. We're gonna go through eras where things are harder, and it's natural and it's normal and it's life. And yeah, I just wanted you guys to know that your feelings are valid no matter, what's going on in your life. And something that I've been dealing with recently is just the feeling of changing and transitioning different times of my life. I feel like a little bit lost right now because, oh my gosh, I'm actually getting emotional. But basically, I've just been feeling lost lately because I did make this big move to Los Angeles when I was like 22, and I did move across the country, and that was such a time in my life. Like, I remember that so vividly. I remember how scared I was. I remember not knowing anybody, and I just remember the feeling of being lost. And I'm feeling similar things now, which is so weird because I've lived in LA for a couple of years now. Well, a year, basically like a year and a half. I've lived in LA full time. I've made friends here and I've built a life here, but I feel like even though I've done all those things, I still feel lost. And basically recently I went home to New Jersey and I just missed like home. Like I missed like the feeling of being around my old friends and like family and everything. And there's like times in your life where you're just gonna be like, what am I doing? And sometimes there's not a clear answer for that. And I think that's a part of being in your 20s and growing up in general, is like you have to feel comfortable with the idea of being lost, because that's all you have sometimes. Like, and that's also exciting. Like being lost sucks because sometimes you're just like, what am I doing? And you beat yourself up and you start to get anxiety over it. But then you have to realize that like life is so exciting with being lost, because it means, you know, you could be moving on to something better. You could be moving chapters. And that's really exciting. Basically, I've just been feeling lost, and I realized that whether I'm in New Jersey or whether I'm in California, I felt lost in both places. And that was like really hard on me, and it still is. I'm kind of dealing with it right now. And dude, whenever I think about it, I'm like getting emotional. I just think that's what I've been going through recently, and I've been watching a lot of videos about anxiety, and just sometimes you're not gonna feel okay, and sometimes you're not gonna have the answers right away. And I just wanted to sit with that feeling and record and document it, because I feel like I could come on here and tell you guys all the advice I had from my past self and stuff, but sometimes I'll be sitting and being like, whoa, I don't have advice for me right now. But I think that's beautiful, because I feel like someone out there, some girl out there watching this is going through the exact same thing, and maybe this is like comforting. Like, I don't think you need to know all the answers all the time. I also think with social media, people always feel okay, like, talking to their past selves. Like, oh, I used to be like this. I used to be like this. Not a lot of people on social media are comfortable saying, I don't know what I'm doing right now, and I'm going through a dark time right now. Like, a lot of the videos are like glow up videos, and you'll see a before and after. But I wanted to be a voice on the internet being like, I'm going to show you the before while I'm in the before. Like, right now I'm just going through a time period where I feel really confused and lost, and maybe it means something better is just coming. It definitely means that. It always does. But like, it's scary sometimes to just feel lost. And I'm telling you, like, I understand what it feels like to feel anxious and to feel not okay. And I feel like a lot of my audience on the internet thinks I'm like happy 100% of the time. And that, if you think that of me, I'm failing, because my whole goal is to show you guys when I'm vulnerable and show you guys the real side of me. That's why this is called Real Talk. That's why we're here. And I don't want you guys to think that it's like rainbows all the time, because it's not. It's not. And sometimes I feel lonely, even though I have amazing friends. And sometimes I'm going through something internally that I can't even say to most people. And I think that that is being human. And I think that a lot of the times when you feel lost, you feel like you're the only one going through it. You feel like nobody else is struggling, and you're like, why am I going through all of this pain and just smiling every day and going on with life? Why do I have to go through this? Why is no one else? And you feel like crazy a little bit. Like, when you're going through something mentally, you can feel like insane. And it's like, more people are struggling with similar things than you know. Always. Always. I know it feels like you're alone, but that's also because we're kind of in a loneliness epidemic. Like, we're kind of in a loneliness epidemic. Like, so many people are on their phones every day, stuck in their own world, like not even looking up and talking to people. And so when you're going through something, it feels like you're the only one going through it. But I promise you, bestie boo, you're not crazy for feeling lost. You're not crazy for feeling anxious. And there's more people knowing how you feel than you think. And especially me. And I feel like people that we follow on the internet don't want to post about this. They don't want to post when they're actually in the sadness. And I'll be the first one to do it. I mean, I'll do it. I don't have a problem looking like a mess on the internet because it doesn't bother me. It's life. I don't get why more people don't post about it. I've gotten comments before being like, why do you cry in your videos? Why do you post yourself when you're upset? Like, it's weird. It's not weird. Like, it's literally life. And I feel like if I didn't show that part of me, then what are you guys even like getting to know? Like, you're not actually getting to know me, you know? And so I feel like not having the answer sometimes is exactly how I want to show up. And being a mess and being raw and real is exactly how I want to show up sometimes, to show you guys that it's okay. And right now I don't have the answers. I've been spending a lot of time alone, and I just feel like exhausted and lost and a little confused. And I am just, at the same time that I'm feeling all those emotions, I'm so grateful for you guys. And I love our community on the internet. And I feel like when I post myself being like this, it's when we actually bond, because someone out there is going to be like, whoa, I felt crazy for feeling so sad. And I felt like I was the only person going through something. And this podcast made me feel less alone. That is like my whole goal. And yeah, I don't know. I guess this is just like a full-on comfort podcast, because I don't know the answers to this, but I do know it's going to get better. And that's another thing people don't realize with positivity. I get asked a lot why I'm so positive or how I'm so positive. And the thing is, like, a lot of people have positivity completely wrong. People think that being positive is being crazy and smiley and happy all the time and laughing and dancing. Like, that's not positivity. Positivity is being able to be sad and recognizing it, but knowing that it's going to get better. I have this trust that everything is always working out for me. And I have to remind myself of that, because sometimes I don't feel that. And I'm like, wait, everything up till now has worked out for me. And when I don't notice things moving around in my favor, they usually are. Because I'll look back and I'll be like, wait, if I didn't feel like this that day or go there that day, I wouldn't have met this person, or that wouldn't have happened. Like, everything is always working out for you, and you just don't realize it in the moment, which I think is a beautiful thing. And positivity means you can be sad, but it means you know it's also going to get better and work out in your favor. Better than you could have imagined. That would have been a good line. Better than you could have imagined. Yeah, and I think that's like a beautiful thing. Sometimes it's just sitting and being sad, but like knowing that the world is always working out for you. And if you have a pure heart, then you will be looked out for. Like, you deserve everything that you want in life. And yeah, I don't know. I guess another reason why I'm feeling sad is because I have this passion for like music. And I talk about this sometimes, you guys know this. I like to sing, but I don't post it enough. And I feel like I've been beating myself up for not pursuing that to the fullest extent. But also, like, I don't even know what I want to do with music. Like, I just feel like everyone in this world that has a goal has like such a defined end line. Like, they're like, I'm working towards this. And I'm learning that you don't always have to have that defined goal. You can just do things that make you happy. And I guess I'm learning that too, because I love singing, but I don't post enough. And I'm trying to learn to do things that I love more, make time for myself. And oh, I dropped Totoro. just spending more time investing in me, because that's really important. At the end of the day, all you have is you. And I've also known, I know this for a fact, every time that I feel like disappointed by people around me, or I feel like nobody's really there for me, which isn't true, but your brain can lie to you sometimes. And when you feel like nobody's there for you, when you feel like you're the only person going through things, I've learned to realize it's kind of a gift, because you learn to be more independent and you learn to actually rely on yourself. And I think that's kind of beautiful, because you can't really expect anything from anyone at the end of the day. Like, you have you. And if you just develop that relationship with yourself and learn to be independent, it's so rewarding. just knowing that you have yourself and feeling comfort in that is so rewarding. Like being able to sit with yourself and being like, I'm not alone, I have me, is the best feeling ever. And yeah, every time someone disappoints me or I feel like, you know, I feel like that, I'm like, wait, I'm learning to be more independent. It's kind of cool. So that's kind of a fun little mindset switch. But oh my gosh, I didn't hit record on the mic. Oh, I'm gonna cry. I'm gonna cry. You know what? I don't care. I'm posting this episode regardless because holy crap, I was spitting bars. I hope y'all don't notice that the mic wasn't on the whole episode. But I love you guys, and I think that's all I wanted to say for now. I just wanted to let you know that this is a safe space for me as much as it is for y'all, and I love anyone listening to this right now. I love you, and you always have a friend on the other side of the screen. I'll talk to you guys in the next one, and don't worry if you're feeling down or you feel like hopeless. I promise everything's gonna get better. And yeah, I love you, bestie boo. I'll talk to you in the next one. And make a safe space in the comments, you know? Feel free to vent. I'll reply. Other people will reply. It is beautiful, and I can't speak anymore, which is a sign that I need to log off. I love you guys, and I'll talk to you in the next pod. Make sure to follow on Spotify or Apple and subscribe to the YouTube and add me on everything. I'm Nik_Patton and follow the Real Talk podcast, Instagram, and TikTok. Love you guys. Mwah.